Hi guys, welcome to my latest video. For this video I'm going to be doing a review of the brand new 2018 Blood Bowl Almanac. You may notice I've been doing a review of the 2016 Almanac. That's much more an in-depth review. This is just going to be an unwrapping, unboxing kind of review. As you can see, it's still in its plastic. Literally went out and got it today, which is its release date. So let's see what this bad boy has to offer. As soon as I can open it with... Oh, cut my nails, Jesus. I always cut my nails and then need to open something. I don't know if you guys do that. It's the moment you cut your nails short. Okay. I'll start with the outside. The quality of it is good. Standard sort of raised, shiny lettering that we expect to see from GW over the matte background. No warping, as you can see. There's no warping in any of the pages, which is a great thing. We have seen some books from other manufacturers who will remain unnamed where the pages are like a tiny seascape. They've got so many waves in them. We've got some fantastic artwork on the front. Pretty Yoda, he's pretty beautiful if you ask me. You may not think so, but I've owned staffies all my life, so my prospect of cute and cuddly is probably different to yours. And I was raised by bouncers in a awesome, wonderful place called Joanna's. If you've been to Portsmouth, you may remember it. Let's have a look. Got a fantastic Chaos Ogre, I guess. Possibly Spawn in the front cover. Nice forward there from our two favourite Blood Bowl announcers, Jim and Bob. The first couple of pages seem to be of a shinier quality, and that's actually going through the whole book. If we compare it to the previous book was shiny, but this book, it starts off on the outside fairly similar to the 2016. But, you know, in all fairness, you've got 2 years, so you've got some nice change. You've got nice contents there, which is always useful. GW books not known for the ease of finding things in some of them, but having a decent contents there is good. We've got a greetings and a foreword from Borak here. Again, you can see if I hold it like this, you can see the shine on the pages, much glossier than the previous edition. Where are we? Greetings Sports Fans by Chaos. Another Greetings Sports Fans going on there. As you can see, this is a collection of the rules found in the Spike magazines. Whereas the previous one was Death Zone 1 and 2, this is a compendium of the Spike magazine rules, which may be why they've chosen to go with the glossy magazine covers. It's certainly got a much more magazine type feel. As you can see, the tiny Ku Klux Klan guy in there. In case anybody's wondering what's with the Ku Klux Klan hats, they're not actually Ku Klux Klan hats. They're the hats that you used to see worn by priests, Catholic priests, and very often the Spanish Inquisition and quite nasty priests like that. The guys that were very fanatical about their faith. The Ku Klux Klan later adopted them in an attempt to give some sort of validity to their beliefs. To be honest, one could argue that their beliefs are just as valid as that of the Spanish Inquisition, in that they wanted to murder and kill people for some stupid reason. But yeah, in case you're wondering, they're not Ku Klux Klan hats. They are in fact Klan hats to an entirely older and different kind of religious fanatical hatred. Don't know if that makes it any better or worse. Just a random aside there. You've got some nice bits there. What have we got? The article on the Chaos Chosen and how they work. Chaos Chosen are one of the teams I play. You've got some articles there on a Chaos team roster. It gives you the basis of a team roster, and then up there you've got the basic Chaos team roster for Chaos Chosen, and then down there you've got some more in depth for specific special characters. A little bit of background there on some specific Chaos teams. This is very nice. I've got to admit, the artwork and the presentation on this are very good. They give you very much the feel of that kind of American sports magazine where everything jumps off the page at you. Some more stuff, more articles there. Chaos Wedding on the Winds of Change. The Doom Lords, 92 to 93 squad. You got the career highlights of the Doom Lords. Anybody who's bought the Spike magazines may be familiar with these. I didn't. I prefer to get it in one big hardback lump just because it survives longer. And when you are a dad like I am, you've got kids. They are going to knock stuff about, smack stuff about. You got your star players there. Ask Lord Borek, which is a Q&A. I'm a 20-year-old Blood Bowl fan of non-limited time Chaos streaming channel, which was to get tickets. They're not, just a quick read over, because I haven't read them before. It's not about actual Q&As, it's more comedy background stuff. Some more career highlights. Star player spotlight for a mutant toad, another cool special character there. Oh, I never knew Skiller was a Blood Bowl player. Now you've got Scylla, champion of Khorne, as a Blood Bowl player, which is not something I was actually aware of. An introduction to Chaos Chosen, some advice which I'll be reading later. I play two teams at the moment. I play Chaos Chosen and I play Wood Elves. Both quite nasty teams and both quite good to play with. Taking the Path to Glory. Chaos Chosen have an incredibly wide skill choice. It gives you an idea of what skills you might want to take, depending on how you want to stat up your guys in the future. You've got some great little diagrams there that we can see. I'm going to be showing you a lot of pages out of this. I'm going to try and go through it as efficiently as I can, because this could take forever with so much cool stuff. But you can see we've got some play advice there, which I'm going to be going through. Another special character, Grashnak the Black Hood. Bom, 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 bom. Very pretty stuff. Lesser known Chaos All-Stars. Nurgling player, Chat with the Rat, Chaos on the feeds of Nuffle. You got here, you got a selection of Chaos players, including some from alternate Chaos gods there. Witherghast the Double Drool seems to be a Nurgle, but you've got Loot Grip Whiparm and Max Spleen Ripper. One is Khorne and the other is Slaanesh. We've yet to see We've yet to see teams specifically of the other three Chaos Gods. There's Nurgle specific. There is no Khorne, Slaanesh, or Zench specific, or Zinch, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I don't know if those are going to be coming in the future, if that's something people are going to do. The generic Chaos Chosen tend to be fairly convertible, and people tend to convert them. Mine, for example, are made out of Zangors, the giant Minotaur-style mage. I have been using Archaic Acolytes. I have been using the Acolytes as my Chaos Warriors, because obviously the Zangor are Chaos Beastmen, so you want to use them as Chaos Beastmen, but the Acolytes are too small, so I'm looking at what I can replace them with. I want to see the comparative size of Pink Horrors at some point. You've got some cool stuff, some new inducements. You've got a Chaos Sorcerer you can buy. I'll see what exactly he does later. And you even got, apparently transforms people into a frog, because you've got the stats for a transmogrified player. Movement allowance 5, agility 4, armor value 4. Now, That may seem absolutely terrible, but a movement allowed to 5 isn't that much. And a strength 1 is obviously rubbish, but an agility 4 player is not actually terrible. He's got dodge, leap, stunty, titchy, and very long legs. So, frankly, I can see uses for that player in support. He's not going to do any attacks himself, but I can quite easily see you jump that frog in. I don't know if GW have got a frog model, but there are plenty of toad and frog models out there that you can get. Totally, if I'm gonna buy the wizard, I would invest in a frog model so that you can give it to the other team and say, here's a model to represent your transmogrified player. Coffin Corner. Tales of the sporting glory from the career of all-time star player Bob Bifford, who's one of the announcers. Oh, comics! I love comics! You've got comic stuff here. Only a couple of pages, but still good. Special balls for Cows Chosen. That's nice to see some new stuff in. Let's show you a quick picture. Someone's smashed a chunk out of that ball and set fire to it. Or perhaps the fire is coming from inside. You've got 2 balls there, the Dark Ball and the Ball of Majesty. Chaos Temple Blood Bowl pitch. Available from GW, but a fantastic and beautiful pitch. It's a nightmare. Spike Bowl issue 2. Here we're moving into Dark Elf territory. Greetings, sports fans. The darkest of the dark. More beautiful, really popping graphics there that we can see. Dark Elf linemen, blitzers, runners, witch elves, and assassins. It's going through explaining all the positionals, giving you a rundown. As you expect with some Chaos Dark Elf teams, something I'm looking forward to reading. I always say I'm looking forward to reading. In case you're wondering, that's code for I've got 3 kids. I'm never going to get a chance to read everything. I tend to dip out and read what's interesting to me and what looks cool to me, and then go back and read the book all the way through at a later date when I get the chance. You got another chat with the rat. Again, you got some teams and some more star players there, which is great. If you're playing with leagues including star players, these star player rocksters are excellent. Just because there are a lot of star players out there, and if you have 2 teams, guarantee they'll both want to take the same one. Amazons and Halflings have Carla Von Kill. I think Wood Elves as well, maybe. The amount of times that Halflings want to take Carla Von Kill because she's such a bonus to their team. And Amazons want to take Carla Von Kill because she's Carla Von Kill. And of course, only one person can have them. Having a bunch of extra guys can really help you find your way around that. We've got Chat with the Rat, the Odd Gods of Nagaroth, Fit of Hubris. Again, bits and pieces there that really help and start to add flavour. We've got this descriptions of the Nagaroth Night Wings, which are another awesome team. There, Nagaroth Night Wings squads. It's this one's slightly more expensive than most of the special squads that you get in, for example, the 2016 one. All of those are 2 million. This is 2,060,000 gold pieces, which means you'll get some inducements. But in case people are wondering, the point of these squads are to provide you an interesting ready-made squad that you can play, so that you're not just playing one-off games with your own squad all the time. They basically provide interest for out of league, for when you're in downtime, when you're out of leagues, or if you're not playing in leagues, if that's not your thing, which is perfectly fine. It gives you a bunch of kick-ass one-off teams. You can try this team, you can try that team, you can try the other team, and it works out. Also, it's a great opportunity to convert models and kit bash models and stuff like that. Another awesome star player there with Jeremiah Cool. Career highlights of Jeremiah Cool there. Dirt from the dugouts, basically slagging off some bits and pieces and some more stuff. Roxana Darknail. sorry, these are the proper star players. The other sort of cool players are just there. You can use them and you can add them, but they're players you can bring in for cool teams. Astaroth Thorn. You may have noticed you've got a lot more focus in this almanac than you have in the previous almanac. The previous almanac was based on season 1 and season 2 of Death Zone. It covered a lot of stuff and brought in a lot of stuff that was on the website that was meant to get people started. This almanac is covering all the stuff from the Spike magazines. There is another Spike magazine out that isn't in this almanac. It's just come out now. But the Spike magazines are much more focused in what they do, and they're designed to really flesh out the teams and give you extra stuff. Cruel and the Gang. Introduction to Dark Elf teams. It explains about flexibility, aggression, starting a league. It gives you a nice play diagram there of a good starting point for Dark Elf players. Something I'm actually going to look at and see if I can convert over to Wood Elves. It's also got some nice plays there that you can look at and try. Most of these plays are well thought out. Most of these plays do work in certain circumstances. You just got to remember that your opponent may well have read these plays as well and may be aware of them and may have looked at some of the online theories on how to counter these plays. And there are some out there. If they're not, I may be doing some later. But they're really cool ideas of how to play the teams and how to make the best of your teams or your special players. Hubris or Rakarth, who's got some nice spiky things. Let's hope he doesn't try and scratch his nose. And then career highlights of that. Lesser known Dark Elf players. Sorry guys. Which again, it gives you a nice selection here of Dark Elf players. All again in this very much sports magazine style. And again, new inducements. Some awesome stuff for Dark Elves there. Special assistant coaches available to any team. Temp agency cheerleaders available to any team. So that's some nice stuff. Yay! Another comic. I always love comics. I'm a massive comic fan. Unfortunately, with my finances, I have to make a choice what I'm pursuing and what I'm playing and what I'm reading. And I can't afford to solidly collect comics. That's why I really enjoy them when I get them for free or get them as part of these things. Part of the issue with that is I'm the kind of guy who wants to collect everything, so I can't start on a comic. I wouldn't be able to miss it. And then I wouldn't be able to afford this. Anyway, some more bits on the Dark Elf Corsairs Blood Pitch. As you can see, that's wooden. The idea is that Dark Elf Corsairs are actually on a boat. It's quite fantastic. You've got Dark Elf Special Balls. It's actually an egg. I don't know if you can... Oh, let's get that so you can see it. It's actually an egg there. And you've got Draconic Egg and Cold One Hide Ball. Two things with cool stuff that's going to happen. Here we have Spike issue 3 starting. Big focus on Nurgle there. With the Nurgle teams that come out. You've got another greeting sports fans. Papa Nurgle's favourite players. And again, all in this amazing magazine style that pops. I think one of the good things about this is, if we quickly go back through it, we've got red. We've got... Sorry, well, we've got purple, and now we've got green, with the star player things being in black and yellow, meaning that you can, or should be able to, fairly easily go through this book without even bothering to look at the contents, because you can narrow it down to which Spike magazine, and then you can kind of look at which section you're looking at. Bloaters and Pestigores, famous Nurgle teams, and again, you've got a bunch of special / star player style things. And you've got all the stats you need for standard players. For some reason, this star player reference has Lewd Grip, Whip Arm in it. Chaos Chosen, Lewd Grip. Chaos Chosen, Chaos Renegades, and Nurgle. Hadn't read too much into Lewd Whip and the others, but it's nice to see that the Chaos Gods are willing to put aside their differences to murder people. I've got some, again, beautiful artwork there. Nurgle's Rotters with a team spotlight on them. And again, the stats, if you want to play a cool game, you can bring out the Nurgle's rotters, even using against one of the previous teams. You've got Pussmore, who's the guy with the big mouth in his belly, and his career highlights. Bile Rot Vomit Flesh. They're subtle, these names, subtle. You couldn't always tell, subtle. Again, you've got the Nurgle Playbook, which gives you development ideas and tactics of how to improve your team. Some skill selections, some tactical applications to pestilence, as well as some play there, and some playbook stuff there. As well as a Nurgling ref. I do love the artwork. The artwork in these books is just it's just amazing. Bulla Shardhorn, another special player. Tolly Glockklinger. You've got glittering prizes. Oh, here's some cool ideas for tournaments. Elven Luckstone Award, Associated Broadcasting Conjurer's Cup, and various things. Each of these awards has special rules. During the end of season playoff, semi-finals and finals, one player on each team will be touched with the greatness of the Luckstone. Random select one player from each team. That player gains a pro skill. So these are the prizes you give out, and during the playoffs, they affect how the game plays. That's quite cool. Unhealthy Herbology. That's some quite nice stuff there. There's some stories about how Nurgle healers work. Then you've got Plague Doctors available to Chaos Renegade Nurgle teams. Cavorting Nurgles available to Nurgle teams. So you've got some extra, some new inducements there which allow you to add stuff to your team. And yet another awesome comic involving beer. And again, optional Nurgle team special balls, which again is optional rules. And an explanation of the Nurgle pitch and how it works. Worth noting, I was out of circulation for a while when the Nurgle pitch came out, so that's actually the first time I've seen it. You got Superstar Stadiums FAQ, which is one of the other things this book promised is a lot of the FAQs and a lot of the rules, a lot of the updates that have come out over 2018 and 2017 are in here so that you can operate a better, more balanced game in theory. I always think in a one-on-one game, any of these FAQs are down to you whether or not you want them to use. In leagues, it's down to your commissioner, but for the most part, they will use them. A little bit from the White Dwarf and the Black Gobbo. Oh, you've got Joseph Bugman there, and some stats if you want to play him, which is cool. It changed it. Dwarf Master Brewer first half and Dwarf Master Brewer second half. One can only assume the second half is bad. The second half is drunk. You've got Grombrindel, which is the name of the White Dwarf, if anyone's asking. And the Black Gobbo. It was always the White Dwarf and the Black Gobbo. They were always a pair. I'm not sure where the Black Gobbo appeared. I'm sure, I know he's appeared in a lot of bits and pieces. But he's just basically the counterpart to the White Dwarf. And you've got the Elven Summer Ice Stadium, which is another stadium. Elven Union Special Balls. So you've got some bits there. Let's have a look. Are we starting a whole thing again? Nope, there's not. It's not the beginning of a new magazine. It's just Elven Union in there. So you've got the teams. So you've got the stats and stuff that's gone through there. You've got some skill updates there. That's not just Elven Union. I see. This is your star player summary table. These are the up-to-date rules and stats for a lot of the older star players. This will happen when there have been misprints, when there have been when there have been amendments to the rules, and it makes sense to carry those amendments over to the star player versions For example, the Wood Elf Tree Man originally had the ability which allowed people to help him up. That was taken away because that was only meant to be for the halflings. The halflings help the tree man up, the wood elves are too busy running around. And a lot of other tree men that, well, and the other tree men that were released didn't, the special players and the star players didn't have that skill. And if they had that skill, this is where you would have seen it update and removed. In other cases, they've got new skills that they want to give to them, which will come out in Spike Magazine, which make more sense. Or in other cases, they found out that a certain combination of skills, which play tested well in GW, isn't actually working how they hoped in the field, which is not uncommon. You have to remember there's a few dozen people, maybe at best a few hundred, play testing it in and for GW, and then you're going to have a few 100,000 or even a few million playing and testing in the world. They're going to find things that the GW players miss, the GW test teams didn't see and didn't think of, just by virtue of numbers. They're going to try so many things, and once somebody finds something, it instantly gets shared across all the boards, and then everybody knows it. And then GW have the choice of, do they leave it in because it's something they intended and it was cool, or do they take it out? On the other end, you sometimes find that they played with characters and those characters worked out, but due to a certain combination of skills that have come out, either that hadn't been seen when they play tested it, or there are actually new skills that have come out in things like the Spike magazines and the amendments and the 2016 Almanac and things like that. This player is all of a sudden not worth taking for his value. So again, the GW guys have to sit there and go, do we amend him somehow, or do we accept he's just a rubbish player and bring in someone else that's good? So you'll see a lot of bits and pieces where they're often very much the same, but with minor amendments just to balance up the game, just to bring them in line with, you know, stuff that's come out in the first 3 quarters of this book. But yeah, you've got there and the second page there. You've got so I'll do that properly. I think I just want you've got there and then the second page there. All the amended rules for the star players. You've got an FAQ again there, which is going to clarify or, if necessary, change the rules. Covers kickoffs, fouls, special play cards, skills, league play inducements, league play friendly games, league play redrafting, league play star players, points of movement, and everything else. And then you've got the bit a lot of us really look forward to, and I do, the paintings, the heavy metal, as it used to be. I think they should still call it heavy metal for this, because really for us older guys, it's always been heavy metal, and it's always going to be heavy metal. Yeah, you got colours and pictures there. Again, for all the teams we've had here, colours and pictures, and some beautiful ideas just to inspire players as to how they're going to paint their teams. And what is this? Blood Bowl fans, strange and peculiar stories. A Blood Bowl farmer covered in warts, possibly having sex with a cow, or at least marrying it. Well, that seems odd to me. But all in all, a fantastic book. Oh, I forgot to mention the ribbon. Last Almanac and this Almanac come with a ribbon to help you find out where your place was and keep marks on it. But yeah, all in all, as we'd expect from GW, high quality, high production value, glossy, shiny. I really like the style of it. I really like some of the animation in it. Some great rules, some great content, and all in all, a fantastic book, which I really look forward to reading more of. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Not sure why, but I am. So if you like it, see me there, and please tell your friends. Thanks very much. Bye.